Chipotle is known for having good guacamole, but to one Michigan man, the guac is good enough to crash out over.
The suspect, Mr. Aaron Brown, entered the Chipotle restaurant with his wife. While standing at the register, Mr. Brown asked for extra guacamole on his food that he had just purchased.
Police say he was upset because it wasn't enough guacamole.
Mr. Brown then called the female Chipotle employee a derogatory name, the B word, which upset her understandably.
Fellow employees took her to the back to try to calm her down, leaving the front counter unattended.
Our suspect, Mr. Brown, who previously had paid for his food items, began to proceed to go around the counter and began to bag his own items, and then he took a cup and filled it with guacamole.
A 21-year-old male employee tried to stop him. Physical altercation, and then Brown, a licensed CPL holder with no prior criminal history, allegedly shoots the employee in the leg, then takes his food and calmly walks out.
I was in my car and I saw him just walk out to his car, close the door, and just drive off. Like he didn't speed off or anything. It was weird to see, but it was like you'd think you want to get out of there fast, but it's like he didn't care.
The online comments about this incident are entertaining to say the least. One of the comments was the inspiration for the thumbnail image. It's a play on Pablo Escobar's infamous Plata o Plomo line from back in the day. Another comment is, 32-year-old, looks 56 and acts 13, shaking my head. The dude does look pretty haggard in the pic, probably living a shitty life, and who knows what else he was going through prior to entering that Chipotle. The guac was the final straw that literally triggered him. Another comment, I don't think guacamole is on the prison menu. I shudder to think of what this guy would do if he perceives any type of culinary disrespect in prison. Then again, he'll probably be around men who are much more violent and with much less to live for, so maybe that will keep him in line. The consequences he'll suffer from attacking a real convict will be much more severe than the consequences of attacking a civilian in the free world. The fact that he shot the Chipotle employee in the leg indicates the guy is not a complete crash out. A real crash out would have been aiming for the chest or head multiple times. But anyway, this story is pathetic. All right, the second story involves a group of 3 people who went to a seafood restaurant in Livonia, Michigan. One of the people, a man, assaulted the restaurant manager, a woman, because the group was asked to pay for 2 of the lemonades that they consumed.
How much are those lemonades?
Maybe $3 at the most.
Because the customers didn't want to pay for those, restaurant manager Susan Raines was beaten.
And he dumped the drink on me first, and then he smashed it on the side of my head. And then I don't know what happened next, and then he just punched me in the eye, and I fell to the ground.
Knocked out, a concussion, staples in her head.
I've been to 2 hospitals and too many doctors, counselors, and whatnot that I can't even count.
It happened in April. 2 customers complained about their steaks at a chain seafood restaurant in Livonia we're not naming. Susan took the food off the bill and apologized profusely. She left $6 worth of those lemonades on there to pay for, but the couple crumpled the receipt and tossed it at her. Then a man they were with allegedly stepped in, his name Deshaun Kelly.
Oh, we were toe-to-toe. Literally toe-to-toe.
And he's
and eye-to-eye.
swearing.
And he's calling me all kinds of nasty, horrible names.
Then she says Kelly attacked.
It happened so fast, nobody could have stopped it.
The couple and Kelly quickly left, leaving Susan there bloodied and knocked out.
I was told, as a matter of fact, they just kind of walked over and around me like I was a piece of garbage.
The whole thing caught on camera, hard to argue that. And facial recognition helped Livonia police catch Kelly a week later, now charged with assault. This all happened within 48 hours of that Chipotle employee in Southfield getting shot by a customer over guacamole.
Deshaun Kelly was given a $50,000 cash bond. Now, this is the second time he's been in trouble, pleading guilty to armed robbery back in 2015.
For what it's worth, I don't like to order steak at seafood places. I learned the hard way that it's normally better to order the food that the restaurant specializes in. Do not, for example, bring your vegan buddy to a steakhouse. But I digress. Still a totally scumbag thing that Deshaun did. I'd like to point out one disturbing similarity in both silly stories. How casually these perpetrators inflicted serious violence on complete strangers for trivial reasons. In each incident, the offender leaves the place casually, like nothing significant happened. This disregard for others' lives and safety is troubling to say the least. I'm just glad that both suspects are being dealt with in the legal system. There's another similarity in both stories I'd rather not point out, but yeah, I caught that too. Interesting week to say the least for restaurants in the Detroit area.